Hi, I'm Kevin. I am 35 years old. I am from the Netherlands and I collect 35mm films.
Why did you start collecting and how did it all started?
Actually, because back in the days I had an acting coach and he was really coaching me in the time that I was still working a lot as an actor and did a lot of castings. And he invited me over to get to know each other and he introduced me to film, analog film actually. He coached me a lot with analog film. Because one of the important things is if you are an actor or a filmmaker in general, you should have a really rich repertoire knowledge so that you can refer to certain movies when you want to make a point. Actually, that is how we started. So we watched a lot of film and we started with High School Musical. And I was like, oh, this is a crazy. Why would you show me a High School Musical? But he was actually showing me that to make like certain points in the narrative. To you know, make me see them and analyze them. And we start doing that on and on and on, and we watched film after film and all on film, analog, and because he was a collector and movie screener as well. And I fell in love with analog film.
So do you consider yourself a collector?
A lot of people use that word, collector. I always have a negative vibe around that word. I see myself just as a movie screener. Projectionist. It's a better word.
What was the first item in your collection?
So my first movie, I had at least one of my first movies because I don't precisely remember the first one because I borrowed films first and did a lot of trailers and stuff to learn first how to be a projectionist. But I think one of the first movies was Snakes on a Plane. So that's really guilty pleasure Friday night movie. Still have it in my collection.
Which one is the newest item that you have added to your collection?
I think that is Elizabeth with Kate Blanchett. That one I bought from an auction, and I bought The Lord of the Rings. Also really happy with that because that's not really easy to get in 35. Those are my two last films that I add to my collection.
What's the rarest item that you could find in your collection?
So, if you talk about items, my projector is also an item. Then I would say my projector is the rarest item because that's difficult to get nowadays. So there was this open day and I bought her there. And yeah, I really love this machine. I saw a lot of machines, tried a lot of machines, but I think this is my baby.
What's the most expensive item that you own in your collection?
It's hard to say because a lot of movies are also given to me because when I was a student still, I obviously didn't have the money to pay for all, like to build up my own collection. So a lot of movies were also given to me by, you know, I have this movie still, you can have it. Obviously when I graduated, after that I started buying movies myself when I had the salary for it. The Lord of the Rings would be my most expensive one that I bought. Yeah, I have a film called Daylight. That was also one of my first movies I got actually, from Adrian, my friend. I think something like that would, you know, you have to pay for that. Especially also it's about how, in what condition your print is. Because if it's really damaged, yeah, it's worth less. And it depends how popular a movie was, how good the projectionist was that showed the movie in the cinemas back in the days. So it's rare to find an 80s print that is looking brand new. So that is valuable. Probably the Chronicles of Narnia is something that you don't really, you know, that's expensive, those titles. Just the more popular a title is, I guess. But it's also what you give for it. Like, you can try. I mean, people sell films for like €1,000 and some are sold for like 200. It's just depends.
Which one is your favorite out of all of them?
My favorite film is The Hours from Stephen Daldry. It's like, that's my absolute favorite. I can't really explain why other than I don't know, it's just such a good movie in my opinion, and the story, it always hits me. And it's my favorite film as well as the favorite film of one of my best friends that I always watch film with.
Your most meaningful item in your collection?
So my favorite one is the Hours, but my most valuable one would still be the Hours, I guess, but also Chaplin, which is a biopic of Charlie Chaplin, about Charlie Chaplin. And I got it for my birthday, and I remember Adrian, the friend I was talking about earlier, he he called all my friends and emailed all my friends, like also the ones he didn't know, to collect like money for the birthday present, so to say. And he like literally went crazy. He like he even texts people that are probably not even my friends anymore or whatever, people that I slightly know, to make it possible to give me that film, because obviously that's not a cheap one. So that memory of getting that present with all my friends that came over, that was just amazing. Yeah. So that's a good memory.
What's something you may regret buying?
So yeah, no, regret is a big word, but I bought The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas, which is an intense movie, and I really like is maybe a bit weird, but I value the movie. But there's like I don't know how you translate that from Dutch. Beeldstand. It's like it's like how steady the shot is on the screen, so to say. So sometimes that can be a mistake in printing the film. It's a little shaky. It's like going up and down. And that movie really is like, if you watch it, it's okay. But if you paid money for it and you saved money for it, yeah, that was a bit disappointing. And obviously the seller didn't tell me that it was a bit, yeah, you know, that's a pity. But still enjoy the movie. So slightly regretted it, but not too much.
Is there an item that you really want to add to your collection?
But my most really, I really want that film is Carol from Todd Haynes. It's shot on 16mm actually, but it was printed on 35 and distributed, digitally, obviously, because you know it was released in 2015 or 16, I think. Yeah, it's just such a beautiful movie. That's really the love for cinema, like really analog cinema. It's used so clever. It's just the grain, the colors, the movie itself, the story. It's also, again, my favorite actress, Cate Blanchett, Rooney Mara. It's a very beautiful film with the most beautiful sex scene ever, I would say. And it's so beautifully shot. That was so impressive to me, and I was writing movie reviews back then, so I was at the press screening of this film. I remember I had my paper with a pencil on my chair in the cinema for writing stuff, and the whole I just didn't write anything down. I was constantly like, what the fuck, this is so beautiful, and I will never forget that moment. So I saw the movie, I think 7 times in cinema, for as long as it was running. Obviously not an analog, so it wasn't released on film in the Netherlands, but it was released in England, in the UK, for several screenings. So I know there's prints of the film. So I tried to write emails to producers, to distributors, even the director himself, and I got very close, but still never a reply. But I don't give up. Every now and then I'll try it again. I'm like, here I am again, until I'm so annoying that he's like, okay, here's a print, you know? I really want that print, yeah. Oh, I really want that, more than anything.
Where do you mainly shop, online or offline?
Buying them goes either online through eBay, Marketplace, and I'm in like Facebook communities. That's the only reason I still have Facebook, I guess. There's like communities in there where people offer films sometimes. And further, it's just, I think, network, just knowing people that also screen at home. So sometimes someone is like cleaning up a bit of their collection, like make it smaller.
Do you have any story related with any item that you would like to share with us?
So, one time I was screening The Good Shepherd and my machine got stuck. So this little wheel with this little teeth, you call it a cogwheel, and that's within the machine. It malfunctioned, so to say. So it got stuck, but the film got stuck too. And I really had to run to my projector, and this one is to shut the light off. So you separate the light from the film, so to say. So I did as fast as I could, but then already it burned a hole in my film. And yes, you can say it's just one reel, like one little shot. So you can cut it out and you will hardly notice that, right? It's just 1 second. But still that hurt because you have to cut in your film. That's not what you want. But these accidents happen and that's what you learn from. Also, it was not my mistake, it was the machine, but still, that happens. That was not fun. And then lucky enough, it was my print. Imagine you would borrow a print, then you have bad luck and you have to explain that. So that is one of my fuck up stories, I would say, as a projectionist.